In the heart of Salem, Oregon, a city known for its rich history and vibrant community, a chilling mystery unfolded that would haunt the town for decades. This is the unsettling story of Janie Landers, an 18-year-old whose life was brutally cut short, leaving behind a trail of unanswered questions and a community grappling with fear. March 9, 1979, began like any other day at the Fairview Training Center, a residential facility in Salem for individuals with developmental disabilities. Among its residents was Janie Landers, a young woman described by those who knew her as having a warm smile and an innocent demeanor. Despite the challenges she faced, Janie had a routine that provided her with a sense of normalcy and comfort. However, on that fateful day, Janie's routine took a tragic turn. She slipped away from the facility unnoticed, embarking on a journey that would end in unimaginable horror. The staff at Fairview reported her missing, sparking a frantic search by local authorities and volunteers. The community held its breath, hoping for Janie's safe return. 5 agonizing days later, the search came to a grim conclusion. Janie's lifeless body was discovered along a path near Silver Falls State Park, a serene location now marred by the brutality of her murder. The scene was chilling. There were no signs of a struggle, no blood, and little physical evidence. It was as if Janie had simply been discarded, her life extinguished without a trace of the horror she endured. An autopsy revealed the extent of the brutality inflicted upon Janie. She had suffered blunt force trauma to the head, multiple defensive wounds, and deep cuts on her neck. The violence of the attack spoke of a rage that was both personal and terrifyingly impersonal. The community was left in shock, grappling with the reality that such a heinous act could occur in their midst. The investigation into Janie's murder was exhaustive. Detectives combed through evidence, interviewed countless individuals, and followed numerous leads. Yet, despite their relentless efforts, the case grew cold. Years turned into decades, and Janie's family was left without answers, their grief compounded by the absence of justice. The psychological toll on the community was profound. The murder of a vulnerable young woman in a seemingly safe environment shattered the sense of security that many took for granted. Parents held their children closer, and the shadow of Janie's unsolved murder loomed over Salem, a constant reminder of the fragility of life and the presence of unseen dangers. In 2015, a glimmer of hope emerged. Oregon State Police Detective Steve Hinkle took a personal interest in Janie's case, driven by a deep-seated belief that justice delayed did not have to mean justice denied. Hinkle's dedication was unwavering. He meticulously reviewed old evidence, sought out new technologies, and interviewed witnesses. His determination reignited the investigation, breathing new life into a case that many had feared would remain unsolved. The breakthrough came when DNA evidence, preserved from their original crime scene, was re-examined using advanced forensic techniques unavailable in the 1970s. The results pointed to Gerald Kenneth Dunlap, a man with a dark and violent past. Dunlap had been employed at the Fairview Training Center during the time of Janie's disappearance, a chilling connection that had gone unnoticed for years. Dunlap's history was marred by violence and sexual assault. He had previously been convicted of rape and had a known propensity for targeting vulnerable individuals. By the time the DNA evidence linked him to Janie's murder, Dunlap had already died in prison in 2002, serving a sentence for unrelated crimes. The revelation brought a complex mix of relief and frustration. Relief that Janie's murderer had been identified, but frustration that he would never face earthly justice for his actions. The resolution of Janie's case, though bittersweet, served as a testament to the relentless pursuit of justice by law enforcement and the advancements in forensic science. It underscored the importance of preserving evidence and the potential for cold cases to be solved, even after decades have passed. For Janie's family, the answers provided a measure of closure, allowing them to grieve with the knowledge that her killer had been unmasked. Janie Landers' story is a poignant reminder of the vulnerabilities that exist within our communities and the imperative to protect those who are most at risk. It challenges us to remain vigilant, to question the familiar, and to acknowledge that darkness can reside where we least expect it. The psychological impact of such cases extends beyond the immediate victims and their families, seeping into the collective consciousness and altering the fabric of the community. As we reflect on Janie's life and the tragic circumstances of her death, we are compelled to consider the broader implications. How do we, as a society, safeguard our most vulnerable? What measures can be implemented to prevent such tragedies? Janie's story is not just a narrative of loss. It is a call to action, a plea for awareness, compassion, and unwavering commitment to justice. If Janie's story has resonated with you, we invite you to explore our Real Cases playlist, where we delve into other mysteries that have left an indelible mark on communities. By engaging with these stories, we honor the memories of those lost and contribute to a collective effort to seek truth and justice. Your attention and awareness can make a difference. In remembering Janie Landers, we acknowledge not only the tragedy of her untimely death, but also the enduring impact she has had on the pursuit of justice and the importance of never giving up, no matter how cold the case may seem. Her story continues to echo, a somber reminder and a beacon urging us toward a more vigilant and compassionate society.